All right, let's talk 360 cameras. Today we've got the DJI Osmo 360 and the Insta360 X5. Let's get right into it. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Desmond, and we are talking about the DJI Osmo 360 and the Insta360 X5 and how I've been testing these for the last couple weeks to see which one is going to work best for my type of travel content and everyday use. Just a quick disclaimer, DJI actually sent me both of these cameras to test and use and play with. I mean, it sounds like they feel pretty confident in their product, but again, having tested this, I'm gonna have good and bad things to say about both cameras. And of course, DJI has no say over what I do, what I film, or the end result of this video. So let's get into it. First, let's start with the cameras, right? Let's start with the DJI Osmo 360. This is DJI's first foray into the 360 camera world, which is pretty exciting. It's something I have been waiting for. I use a lot of DJI cameras like the Osmo Pocket 3. I had the original Action 2. I've got the Action 5. All different types of DJI products. I also have a ton of Insta360 products as well. But what I've been excited about with the Osmo 360 is it's really a culmination of all that technology into this 360 form factor, right? Giving you the ability to just shoot panoramic video no matter what, not worrying about the shot, and you still get that kind of DJI image quality that you'd come to expect from other products. And then on the other side is the Insta360 X5. And I think it's no surprise to everyone here, Insta360 has been in the game for a very, very long time. So they know all the nuances, the ins and outs of creating 360 cameras. And again, this is their latest iteration with all of the latest upgrades and updates. And of course, between the two, the obvious thing to say is that Insta360 probably has a lot more experience with 360 cameras, but DJI has been in the camera game for a long time with their drones and their other cameras. So again, we'll just have to see how these stack up from an image quality perspective. Before we get there, let's just talk about form factor. Obviously, very different form factors between the two. I think they're both going for very different types of use cases, but the DJI here is a more squared off form factor, which in my opinion, I like a bit more for certain use cases. We'll talk about that later. And of course, the Insta360 X5 is the more elongated, slimmer version. So hopefully you can see here, they're about the same in terms of thickness, but the X5 is longer and slimmer, while the Osmo 360 is a bit more stubby and shorter. So I think from a form factor perspective, probably personal preference, but like I said, at the end of this video, I'll talk about some use cases where I actually think one of the other is probably better. Both have pretty solid, high quality screens that again, give you the ability to scroll around and see all 360 degrees around you. So again, like any 360 camera, you can go ahead and scroll and swoop. The one thing I'll say is you'll notice here with the X5 is if I swipe, it'll kind of just like continuously spin and rotate. And with the Osmo, it stops with every swipe. So I think that's just a UX difference. Now onto image quality and technical specs. Now the Osmo 360 has a 1/1.1 inch square sensor, which for a 360 camera is great because if you imagine placing a circle on top of a rectangle, for example, you're gonna cut off a lot of that rectangle. You lose a lot of those megapixels. With a square sensor, which DJI designed specifically for the Osmo 360, you are losing less resolution from the overall 8K image that they promise you between the two sensors. So overall, I mean, I think that's fantastic in practice. We'll see how it stacks up when we're actually using it in the real world, but more megapixels, more resolution is always better, especially when you're trying to maximize image quality. Now the X5 is also no slouch when it comes to image quality. It uses a 1/1.28 inch sensor, again, higher than the last generation. Same sensor as the one that I have on my Insta360 Go Ultra, which I absolutely love. Image quality is fantastic. And again, between the two, I think in practical, like everyday use, it's gonna be hard to tell the difference between image quality when it comes to like standard color profiles, just hitting the record button and getting the shot. So that's a good thing because ultimately you want the best image quality. Now video modes, I'm just gonna rattle these off. With the Osmo 360, 8K up to 24, 25, 30, 48, and 50 frames per second. 6K up to 60 frames per second, and then 4K up to 120 frames per second. Now with the X5, you get 8K, 24, 25, and 30 frames per second, 5.7K, all the way up to 60 frames per second, and then 4K up to 100 and 120 frames per second. Now, both cameras do come with a single lens mode, which means you can just choose which lens to use it on. It acts like a standard action camera. And when it comes to filming styles, both of these come with a selfie mode, or what Insta360 calls their Insta frame, where again, you can shoot this in the panoramic view and have it lock onto you as a subject. So no matter where you are moving this camera, it is going to stay fixated and locked onto your face. The one thing that I will say is if you look at the selfie modes here, both on the Insta360 screen and the Osmo, the Insta360 has it locked onto my face. The Osmo 360, I don't know what it's locked onto, and I'm not really finding any additional settings to make sure it grabs my face, but from a resolution perspective, selfie mode is available in 4K, 30 frames per second on the Osmo 360, and it's available 5.7K with the panoramic view, so it can continue to lock onto you. And then it also outputs a 1080p additional file on top of that. But right now, I mean, I think the Insta360 selfie mode looks better, at least from a functional standpoint. We can just see here, the screen is just a lot more helpful. You can see the tracking bar around my face. And again, it's continuing to track me. I actually really like that. Now let's take a look at some of the footage for dynamic range and footage. Like I mentioned, I think out of the box, standard color profiles and just filming, they look pretty comparable. And again, side by side, if we're looking at dynamic range, yes, depending on the scenario, the X5 or the Osmo will do better than the other. But I think aggregated over all of your footage and time, if you're just shooting in standard modes, you're gonna get pretty comparable image quality. And again, like I said, that's a good thing for you because it makes the decision a little bit easier. There are other factors you may wanna look into that help you. Neither of these are bad cameras and neither of these deliver bad image quality, at least in the standard color profiles. Now I say standard color profiles because there is a big difference between these two. The Osmo 360 can shoot in a 10-bit D-Log-M color profile, which for me, in my shooting style, is my preferred setup. The X5 does not shoot in 10-bit. It does have iLog, but iLog is only available at 5.7K resolution. And if I'm being honest with you, I've graded iLog in the past. It doesn't really act like a log profile, and I don't think it grades very well. D-Log-M, if anyone has ever used any of the other DJI cameras, D-Log-M looks really nice. It grades well. It, of course, acts more like a log profile. It's easier to color match with my larger cameras like my Sony or even my other DJI cameras. So for me, the way that I'm trying to shoot, I want to squeeze the absolute most image quality out of my cameras. So being able to shoot D-Log-M 10-bit with the Osmo 360 is a huge benefit for me, and probably one of the reasons why I'll use this more, especially when I'm filming bigger projects or travel vlogs. All right, we're currently testing Super Night mode on the Osmo 360. I've also got the mic minis attached just because it's a little loud in this area, but I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually pretty dark in here. There isn't a lot of light. It's specifically designed to be dark. Hopefully you can see some of the glow-in-the-dark attractions and things here, but let me know how this looks. Same test with the X5. This is pure video mode. We're in that same kind of dark area. I'm just using the onboard mics right now. But let's see how it compares. Both these cameras are completely waterproof, which is great. You will need an extra lens attachment for both of these, just because 360 cameras underwater tend to, again, deal with light very differently, so you just need a special attachment. That's no different for the Osmo or the X5. Now let's talk about battery life. The Osmo 360, about 100 minutes of continuous battery life. If you're shooting at 8K 30 frames per second, at 6K and lower resolutions, you're looking at about 190 minutes or more. One thing that I do like, not battery specific, but there's internal storage included in the Osmo 360. I like that a lot because, again, even though I have a 512 micro SD card in here, if it ever fills out, if I'm loading footage onto my laptop or doing an edit and I forget to put it back, I've always got the internal storage as backup. That's great. The X5 does not have that. It is just using the SD card that you place in here. Battery life for the X5, probably relatively close because they say 185 at lower resolutions. Yeah. At 8K resolutions, we're probably going to see somewhere around the lines of like 90 minutes of continuous use. I don't use these things that extensively as a part of my normal workflow, right? I like having this available for getting quick, perfect shots. I'm walking through a city. I want to mount it to something. I want to just get really easy, full length talking headshots, for example. I'm never burning through battery that much, but like I said, about 100 minutes, 8K, I think probably looking at about 90 or 80 minutes of 8K footage on the X5. Durability perspective, if you look at both of these, the shells and the outer casings both feel pretty durable. Now the X5 does have a added kind of like rubber texture along the entire top, sides, and bottom of the camera, which again gives me a better grip on this thing. Also, we've kind of got some texture on the back. The Osmo 360 is really just all hard plastic across the board. It's got a little bit of texture, but it doesn't feel as rugged or robust as the X5, and it doesn't even look as rugged or robust, in all honesty, because you can see the rubber here. It just does a really nice job of just creating that more like built for destruction feel. The other thing I'll say is the Osmo 360 does not have replaceable lens covers, or at least not replaceable by you. If you crack these lenses, you will need to send these into DJI and they will need to replace them for you. So I am always extra careful. I use the included pouch to keep this in. You can't really place a 360 camera flat on its lenses. You have to always stand it up, and if you do, it might fall over. Anyways, you have to be careful with 360 cameras. With the X5, they did release their like self lens repair kit. I think it's like 30 bucks and you can just replace any broken lenses on their X5, which I think for a lot of people who are using this for action cam situations, places where you just don't want to worry about the lens itself or have to send out your camera if it's cracked, the X5 is going to be a really solid option there. All right, just quickly switching out microphones because I wanted to just show you. The DJI and the Insta360 both work with their own ecosystem of mics. So with the DJI, obviously you have access to things like the Mic Minis, the Mic 3 that I'm using right now, the Mic 2s. Audio quality on the DJI mics is really great. I prefer it actually over the audio quality on the Insta360 mic. But for me, like I mentioned, if I'm trying to get the most output out of my camera, I'm probably gonna go with the Osmo 360 and like DJI mic ecosystem, just because these are tried and true and I've been using them for years and they work fantastic. But anyways, I wanna conclude this because I feel like the video is getting pretty long. Now between the Osmo 360 and the Insta360, I will say from a prosumer or like semi-professional perspective, I prefer the image quality and the output capabilities of the Osmo 360 because one, it allows me to color grade this to exactly what I want. It gives me solid audio options. And again, the final footage will blend better into the type of content and videos that I'm filming, again, for YouTube, for social, so that I just have a better output for you in this channel. Now, when it comes to the Insta360, I will say convenience is nice. Not that you can't just like point and shoot and just deal with regular color profiles on this. I like the accessory ecosystem, especially this piece right here. Insta360 has obviously been doing this for a very long time, and they understand the nuances and like the tiny things that make the user experience just really, really quite nice. And this is an example of that. I like this tiny little full package that allows me to bring my 360 camera. I've got a remote for wireless shooting. I've got tripod legs, selfie stick for whatever I need. And then the camera itself is built to just really be easy to shoot with. Image quality is gonna look fantastic in the standard color profile. Your pure video / night mode is also gonna look great. I did prefer the selfie mode on the Instaframe mode over the 360 mode. Actually, I like the experience on screen, the fact that it locks onto my face. I don't know what this was locking onto, in all honesty, but it doesn't matter too much. Anyways, I think this is a great option for people who just want something easy and has an ecosystem that's just designed around like user friendliness. This gives you more power, gives you more capability, and depending on like your use case, I think this is a better option for like prosumers. And that's probably the category I fall into, is I'm trying to get the absolute most out of the image quality. And because of that, I'll probably pick up the DJI a bit more often and maybe just keep this in a travel bag just whenever I need one and I don't need to think about settings, or just grab the Insta360 X5 and use it. But overall, both are fantastic cameras. Both are very comparable in the standard color profiles when it comes to image quality and night modes and all that good stuff. I think it's going to depend on your use case on which is going to be a better fit for you. Anyways, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. I will catch you on the next one.